What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to JJD TV. I'm your host Josh, and we are here to discuss a little Canadian men's national team transfer rumors, but the main one we're going to be talking about Tajon Buchanan, who has just all but solidified his brand new move to Belgium with Club Brugge. And yeah, a lot of speculation happened the last few days, whether he was going to the Bundesliga with Freiburg, Augsburg. There were Chelsea rumors. I would take those ones with a grain of salt. And then, of course, there were the Belgium rumors. I mean, I kept sprinkling some Dortmund rumors. They weren't true, but I was trying my best to see what would have happened if I could have got them interested in Buchanan. But it looks like we're going to be going for Lazaro instead. But it looks like it's a done deal. It looks like he's heading on over to Belgium. He'll be going, I'm assuming, in the January transfer window from what I've read. Just going on a few of the updated stories about him. It says that Tajon Buchanan's record transfer club to the Belgian side, Club Brugge, is official. The Revelation have put it out. Club Brugge has put it out. And it said in the FIFA-style pack opening that he would be going there in January, which obviously shows that he's going to stay with New England and compete for a couple different pieces of silverware this year that Buchanan can do. But his move from New England, it says that it's all but done, that New England will receive $7 million with a 10% sell-on clause, and that they will finish up the MLS season before moving on. So let's jump on into the comments and see what you guys have to say, because there were some controversy a little bit around this move in terms of, like myself, I kind of wanted to see him go to a top 5 move, but I'll never complain about a Canadian jumping abroad, so I'm happy for him. He'll be playing in the Champions League, which is incredible. He'll be competing for the league title. It's just all in all, it's a decent jump for him, but I still would have preferred the Bundesliga. But Luke Carrier says, attaboy. Kelly says, guessing that he'll lean back to New England for the season, but no Eurocomps while they're in for TB and CB. Very true, very true. Yep, and that's what I've heard as well, is that he'll be heading back to New England. Makes sense, and that he will join up with Club Brugge in January, which, again, there was a good chunk of debate of whether that was a right or wrong thing to do. There's a couple folds to it. Do you want Buchanan to go to a top 5 league? Yes or no? Do you want him to play Champions League? Yes or no? Do you want him to be loaned back, finish up his very, very successful MLS season, or would you have preferred him to go over to the league now? And I kind of, because of his age, wanted him to join up and start from the get-go, but I am excited to see what New England can do, and I bet you Buchanan may walk away with a few pieces of silverware this year, but I definitely do understand that. But yes, Lazaro is getting closer. Let's go. Don't think that we'll have both of him in the wing back. Yeah, and it was funny, we were talking about Lazaro joining up with Dortmund, and I was comparing him to a player similar to Buchanan. Different ways, but the fact that they can play all up the left or the right-hand side, Buchanan can obviously go on the left as well. And I was saying Buchanan should have joined Dortmund. I thought it would have been a perfect opportunity, but it looks like Dortmund is going in on Lazaro literally days after I've said that he would be a good option. And, I don't know. I don't know if Dortmund listened or not, but it does look like Lazaro has been a legitimate rumor to join up with Dortmund. And Buchanan got his move elsewhere. Canucks Club has joined us as well and says, would have preferred the Bundesliga, but a top side in Belgium is great as well. And yeah, and that's what I was thinking. Simply just because of his age. It's not like he's 19, where he could have went over the Belgian league for a couple years, similar to Jonathan David, then make a jump to a top 5 league. That was what a lot of people were very skeptical about. It looks like there was interest in other top 5 leagues. Just, I mean, knowing the Bundesliga was interested, I'm a Bundesliga fan. I mean, you guys can obviously know that and tell that, and I was just hoping that would go into something he could join right from the get-go and start his career at the age of 22 in a top 5 league. But like I said, there's good things to look at. He's going to have a successful end to his MLS season with New England. He's going to go over now to a team in the Champions League. But this is the other thing that people don't think of quite yet, is that by the time he joins up with Club Brugge in January, they could already be eliminated and probably will be eliminated from the Champions League. So there are different ideas to take a look at. So he may not even get an opportunity to play in the Champions League this year, because the group stage will be done before he joins them. Josh Sargent scored 2 goals for Norwich City today. I'm going to win the bet, Josh. Yeah, we said Premier League goals. Remember, me and Yeet have a bet. I said Josh Sargent will not score more than 5 Premier League goals this season. So the 2 he scored today in the Carabao Cup do not count. But yes, good for him. Got on the score sheet. Not bad. Championship side. Bournemouth didn't start their best players, but Transfers not till the January window. Will join Club Brugge for the final stretch of the competition, including the Champions playoffs. The likelihood is the European football after the winter break. Yes, that is what I'm thinking as well. And like I said, the group stage will be over. So Buchanan may not get an opportunity to play in the Champions League this year quite yet, but we'll have to wait and see. There were Fire rumors as well. I did hear that. There was also Sporting rumors, but I don't know how legitimate a lot of these were. The revelation. Yes, the revolution. I know. You caught that. You caught that, Mark. So the revelation. It was the revolution, but I know. I'm an embarrassing guy. It's okay. Real Madrid bidding on Mbappe. What does that mean for Holland? I think it means that they will both head over to Madrid. In my opinion, if you think about it, well, it depends actually. It depends. If Mbappe was going to go to Madrid on free, Holland would likely go there as well for the release clause. Now that they may be spending 160 million, I don't know, but I'm still saying from a Dortmund perspective, the number one option probably for Holland is indeed Madrid. As a Revs fan, I'm happy for him. I'm happy for him as well. He definitely deserves a move. I'm just, for selfish reasons, wanted him to join a top 5 league, but it's still a solid league. There's a couple. I think there's a couple Americans, if not one. I know Mark McKenzie's over there as well, but yeah, in Buchanan, it'll be fun, and you get it on DAZN, so we'll be able to watch Tajon play. From Noni to Lazaro. Yep. But like I said, you got to be realistic about who Dortmund was going to target. Lazaro is the number one. And it makes sense. It makes sense. I mean, if you're not going to go for Buchanan, fine. But, I mean, we need someone on that right-hand side. Lazaro is available for cheap, familiar with Marco Rosa. It's not flashy, but given the situation, it is what it is. We need Tajon to win the cup. That shall not be named. Fair. Same category as past. I don't know about that. I think that's a little harsh. Great move. Better than Chelsea to be part of a loan army. That was an excellent one. I mean, seeing the name of Chelsea being linked to Buchanan sparked a lot of controversy as well. I was, again, the last place I would have liked to see Tajon Buchanan go would have been Chelsea. Chelsea are notoriously poor at developing young players. They send them out on loan, re-sign them, send them out on loan. They re-signed Kennedy for no reason. They re-signed Michy Batshuayi for no reason, just to keep them in the loan army. It made zero sense. And yeah, I'd rather him go to Club Brugge than Chelsea, but I would have rather Freiburg over Club Brugge. But nonetheless, we cannot complain. Agents is here. How you doing, my man? Finally, Tajon moved to Club Brugge. Won't be able to see him till January, but yes, it is still an exciting move, and it is a good step in his career. And I'm excited to see what kind of impact he'll make once he does end up going there. If he does do well in Club Brugge, he will be picked up by a top 5 league after a year or so. And that's my goal. And obviously, I'm hoping that's his goal as well. Being 22, like I said, it's not like being a 19-year-old where you have a little bit of time. You need to hit the ground. You need to hit the ground running. And that's what makes me nervous. Him coming over in January is a different approach. The team has played half a season. The team has an opportunity to potentially not have space for him in the starting 11. He'll really have to find a way to break his way in. And I don't know, it's not thinking that he can't do it because I got the utmost confidence in Buchanan, but I mean, 1, I would have liked him to move right away, and 2, I would have liked him to go to that step. But again, I'm trying not to complain. I'm proud of him. It's a big move. Another Canadian men's national team player abroad in a good club. Can't complain too much. Tajon is more comfortable on the right for some reason. I agree with that. I think he can play the right back role decently. It's not my favorite. I think he's very successful as a wing back, but I like him more in a 4-2-3-1. Right attacking mid, even on the left attacking mid. But yeah, right attacking mid, 4-2-3-1. I shared this live stream with the Revs hashtag on Twitter. Much love, David. Appreciate the support and sharing it. I'm assuming Buchanan, I've heard nothing but good things said from a lot of Revs fans, so I'm sure they're going to miss him, but they're probably happy for him as well. Hey, Josh, Madrid have made a 160 million bid from Mbappe. It's very interesting. It's very interesting for a couple of reasons. Is like I said, if Mbappe went over next season for a free to Madrid, then I think the Holland deal is very likely. Whatever his release clause is, 75 to 100, whatever it is, that's what they would spend technically on both Mbappe and Holland. However, they spent 160 million on Mbappe now, and then maybe have to drop between 75 and 100. If anything, Mbappe leaving now helps us maybe keep Holland or hurts Madrid's chances of signing them. Sargent probably going to start for Norwich after today. I'd hope so. Remember, there is a Canada Games at the end of January as well. There are. I have to relook at the schedule, but I know that there's 3 of them coming up very, very quickly, man. Very, very quickly. And I'm excited for it. Will Lazaro be a good replacement for Hakimi? I mean, look, like I said, like Lazaro is not near the quality of player Hakimi is. The situation that Dortmund is, that's the type of signing you're going to have to look and expect to get. Lazaro is it. You're not going to go for a back. You're not going to go for players that are going to cost a lot of money. You're going to go for someone who you can get on loan or someone who's under 10 mil, and that's exactly what Lazaro is. But he can play as a right back, right wing back, right attacking mid. He's what we need, just probably not at the quality we would have probably wanted or hoped. Josh Buchanan won't play in the Champions League. Club Brugge win the Champions League. Let's hope. I'm just saying, because a lot of people said like it's very impressive that Buchanan will be able to get Champions League minutes, and just the cold hard truth is we don't know if he actually will this season. There's a likely chance, given on how Club Brugge usually does in the Champions League, that they may finish 3rd or 4th. So he'll come in, and the Champions League games are already over. But you never know. No one knows how the draw is going to be. It's happening this Thursday. We will find out. But yeah, that is a dangerous situation that could potentially happen with Buchanan going there, is that he may not get his Champions League football. But we'll have to wait and see. Hey Josh, do you have any plans with BVB? We do. We do have some fun plans coming up. We're featuring on their international fan app right now, which is very cool. We got a couple other things that are up the sleeves to come, but yeah, it was pretty cool for the Super Cup. They shared our stream, and we're helping the JJD TV community grow, which nothing but love for them. But there is a couple of things, just got to be a little hush hush on them so far. Lele says loan or purchase for Buchanan, I'm assuming, or Lazaro. For Buchanan, they bought them. Club Brugge bought him for about 7, and then loaning them back for the end of the MLS season, and then he'll join up with Club Brugge in January. If you're referring to the Lazaro rumors, it looks like Inter would like to sell, but more than likely, if Dortmund are going to find a deal, it'll be a loan with an option to buy. Josh, what will be our formation in the next game? Preview's coming out tomorrow morning. I'm assuming it's still going to be a 4-1-2-1-2. But, I don't know. I don't really want to see it. Hi, I'm late. What did I miss? You missed a couple things. We're talking about basically right wing backs. We're talking about the big news that Tajon Buchanan has been bought for $7 million to Club Brugge, where there's also a 10% sell-on clause, which is interesting. He's going to be loaned back to the MLS squad for the rest of the season, and then we'll join up with them in January. And also, our Dortmund fans are very excited, sort of, that Lazaro is potentially being rumored. But he's also been linked to Benfica. So I'm not crossing anything off quite yet. There is a good chance that he may join up with Benfica instead. But it does look like we're genuinely interested. But what do you Canadian men's national team fans think of this Buchanan transfer? Are you guys happy with it? Or are you kind of, hit or miss? Because it's very interesting. There was a couple different situations that could have went down. This didn't go down as ideally as I wanted it to, but I can't take anything away from the move, and it's well-deserved for him. If I had one word to describe Tajon, it's dangerous. I like it. Rapid as well is another one for me. Ronaldo to PSG if Mbappe goes to Madrid. I think that PSG would definitely look into it. What a better way to find football fans than put two of the biggest GOATs together in a long time, man. If I had one word to describe, it would be dangerous. I like that. Ronaldo's linked to PSG. Yeah. Messi and Ronaldo in the same squad, yes or no? I could see it happening. If Mbappe's sold, I could definitely see it happening. Ronaldo wants out of Juve. There's been some pretty poor, tasteful quotes that have been going around saying how much they want Ronaldo out of the club. People who were high up in Juve saying that bringing in Ronaldo was a mistake, which I think is, I think that's kind of harsh, and that kind of just means the fact that they may want to get rid of him. They said that he might be an option for City if they can't bring in Harry Kane for a year. If Mbappe leaves, he's probably going to be looked at to maybe joining up and taking that number 7 shirt at PSG. This transfer window is going to be wide open, man. It absolutely is. Daniel says, congratulations to Buchanan for the transfer. Were there any other teams that you personally would have liked to see Buchanan play for? For me, for a couple of reasons. The thing with Buchanan is, like, one, I low-key do want to see him see out this MLS season because this Revs side is incredible. I want to see how far they can go this season. They got a good shot at winning it all. However, from the specific perspective of the player, I would have rather seen him move to Freiburg now. Go to a top 5 league. Go to a solid team that isn't fighting relegation. If anything, is fighting for a Europa League spot. I mean, they just beat Dortmund. He fits in that system well. And he would leave right away and have a shot to break into the team. By going to Club Brugge, in my opinion, still a good step, but he won't be joining up with them until the January window. It'll make it harder for him to break in. That prestigious Champions League football may not even be there when he finally links up with them in January. So there are a couple negatives, but like I said, I'm being very harsh because I rate Tajon Buchanan very, very highly. I expected big moves for him. And I don't know. I mean, it's a good move, and I'm hoping it will lead to a bigger one, is the number one thing I'm taking away. Hopefully he comes in January, makes a big mark on that team, gets other attentions. Maybe they'll be in the Europa League, if not Champions League, make an impact there. It'll all see. No matter what, it's still an incredible move where he deserves it. And I can't wait to see how he will progress in the rest of his MLS season, and of course how he will do over in the Belgian league. Brady says, "Hey Josh, you surprised that Scott Kennedy's team is top of the Bundesliga?" Yes. For the other guys who haven't kept note, Scott Kennedy and his squad have been playing incredible. They are top of the Bundesliga 2 right now. They've got 12 points from a possible 12 points, and he has been playing some incredible football. I believe he scored 2 goals. I don't remember if both of them came in the league. One might have came in the Pokal, but yeah, Scott Kennedy's had quite the impressive performance so far, and makes me very, very excited for World Cup qualifiers and to see him in that hopeful starting 11, playing more than likely on that left-hand side. Might even start him in the middle if they're deciding to keep Miller involved. But yeah, I mean, I am a little bit surprised. But looking how Scott Kennedy's performance are, I'm not surprised from him performances, but from their team, top of the Bundesliga, 12 points from 12, it is impressive, man. How old is Lazaro? He's 25 years old. He's an Inter player, spent last year on loan at Gladbach, where he obviously met up with Marco Rosa, which is why I think, given our current circumstance, we desperately need an option at right back, wing back, and attacking mid. It's not flashy. It's not the best transfer we could get. Is he that much better than Wolf? Maybe, but I think Wolf is just so shot here, he needs to probably move on, and it's an opportunity for Lazaro to come in here and do some damage. Is a 10% sell-on clause for the Revs? And what do you think about the overall deal? As far as I know, and from what I read, the 10% sell-on clause is for the Revs. So if Buchanan does well and they sell him to the Bundesliga, for example, then 10% of that sale will end up going to New England. I think it's a good deal. I think New England got the better of it. They got to sell Buchanan for a good fee. They got a sell-on clause in there as well. And on top of that, they got to keep him for the rest of the MLS season. So that's a big, big win for Buchanan. But again, just from my selfish perspective, I would have liked to see him go in right away. And even if he would join Club Brugge, for example, right away, I mean, he would get Champions League football guaranteed. Now it's not guaranteed, but he gets to finish off a very successful season that he's having so far. So there are a few different folds, I guess. I think it's a mistake playing Witsel over Papadopoulos. Would have rather see Papadopoulos at center back, Witsel at CDM. We would have had more defensive coverage. It's a fair point, and in hindsight, it might have worked. More than likely, Hummels will be back in now. We got Chan healthy. I don't think Papadopoulos or Maloney will get a look at the first team anytime soon, and Witsel will definitely get put back up to midfield. But yeah, I mean, in hindsight, you could have said that, but clearly that just shows Marco Rosa wasn't putting the faith in Papadopoulos to do anything effective in the main squad. But Eric does agree with you. If you don't sign a super defender or at least a right back, we won't win the league. And I think that we should sign a defender like Diego Carlos or Ginter. So just again, off of pure realistic approach, we will not sign a defender like Ginter or Diego Carlos. We will sign a right back, but more than likely that right back is coming in the form of Lazaro. So if you are asking me right now, Josh, who is Dortmund going to bring in before the end of the transfer window? I'll give you 2 names. Halstenberg, Lazaro. And if not, those two players very similar to them. So we won't be bringing in, we don't have money to bring in players like that. So unfortunately, I know it's not what Dortmund fans or anyone wants to hear, but find a player that fits the profile of a player that we need. Halstenberg covers the center back, left back position. Lazaro, right back, right wing, and right wing back for under 10 mil. That's what you're looking at. What do you think about the team refusing players on international duties? So that is interesting, guys. And if you've followed up with some of the World Cup qualifiers, this could have a massive impact on the CONCACAF nations, specifically Jamaica, if because they're a red list country, so players like Michel Antonio could not be released. Reed might not be released. Hector might not be released. I don't think it affects Canada too much in our opening 3 matches, just because we're not in danger of any of those places. But it sucks. I mean, it's going to be a huge game changer. I read a few places. I think Mexico is pretty affected as well. But Jamaica could get hit pretty badly. If anything, it plays into the favor of the United States and Canada for the opening three games. Canucks Sub says, can't wait for the octagonal. I can't wait either, my man. Can't wait either. Other than showing Toronto FC more love for my Whitecaps, Josh is the best. Cheers, brother. Cheers to Everyday Hockey, friends of ours. They're from Vancouver. They got love for the Whitecaps. I had to show my love for TFC today. But BBB will win 5-0 on Friday. Mark my words. Ballsy call. Ballsy call. I like it. We'll have to wait and see. Will Davies and David play in the World Cup qualifiers? I'm fairly confident they both will. Fairly confident. Almost, I'd say like 90% confident that they will. Mexico is falling behind in exporting their youth for development. I'm not surprised if they don't dominate CONCACAF for the next few years. That's an excellent point. Getting into a very interesting debate where I would have liked to have maybe tactical manager, someone on here, but yeah, Mexico has always been a little hesitant to see their talent go abroad. United States, I mean, there's fans that go both ways, but they like it, and it's what you want to see. I mean, I'm ecstatic Tajon just got this move. If you want to see your national team get better, you need your players to go to the best leagues around the world. I love the MLS. It's my local league, but I want to see Tajon be successful. I want to see him be successful in the Bundesliga, but I want to see him be successful in Europe. That is how he's going to take his game to the next level. That's how many young Canadians, many young Americans will take their games to the next level. And a lot of the Mexican young national team players are staying in their home country, and I think that honestly hurts their development. It's an iffy call. I mean, the Mexican league they're very proud of their league, which they should be. It's a talented league, but at one point they're going to have to start letting some of their players go. But if you guys are excited for the Tajon Buchanan news, guys, be sure to drop a like on the stream. Subscribe if you guys are new. And hopefully let me know what your thoughts are on the transfer in the chat below. We could have used a scorpion kick. We could have. Lazaro scored one of the best scorpion kicks you're going to find. As a Club Brugge supporter, I think this dude can make it here. Maybe he can be the next season. This guy has a lot of potential. A lot of Club Brugge supporters reached out to me on Twitter, which is awesome. Guess what? You're going to be gaining a new Club Brugge fan over in the Belgian league because I'm excited. I really, really do rate Tajon Buchanan. It's why I wanted to see him go to the Bundesliga, just so I could keep more of an eye on him. But I will be proud to watch Club Brugge play. I can watch them on DAZN. I have DAZN. It's very nice for you Canadians out there who may have DAZN. It's helpful, but it's very cool to hear from a Club Brugge supporter saying that genuinely excited to have him there, and I'm glad you guys are. If you find some Tajon Buchanan highlights, I mean, if you are a Club Brugge supporter, hopefully that is nice to see. I think he could have fit in with Dortmund. You're barking up the right tree, my man. I tried that for a while. But no, we decided to go with Lazaro. So, you know. Was Brandt trying to copy Holland with that hair on Saturday? I'm not sure. I'm not sure what to think with our man, Brandt these days. St. Juice would have been the best option for BVB. He would have, but Mainz made it very apparent that they weren't willing to sell. So, you know, can't really prize him because we don't have the money to push Mainz to that selling point. Why do you pay the refs in Belgium? Some debate going on here. Mbappe to Madrid. Any thoughts? It's where he wants to go. And I did a big stream when the Messi news went down that he was leaving, and I said this pretty, like, I don't know. You guys, I'm gonna let you guys in on it if you weren't at that Messi stream. But my initial results, and this was before Messi went to PSG. It was when it was decided that Messi wasn't gonna re-sign for Barca. I went live just to talk about it. I had some thoughts, and I said right away that PSG is so hell-bent on making sure that they're known as a powerhouse, that they're a place that every best player in the world wants to go. And I think it terrifies them that Mbappe wants nothing really to do with them really this season. If it's up to them, Mbappe wants to leave. And that was my initial thoughts. I can't say if I'm 100% right or wrong, but going into that, I said I think that Mbappe wants to leave. What better way for PSG to justify the transfer than saying, hey, we brought in Messi, Mbappe still wanted to leave, we needed to balance the books, we're going to sell him. Instead of letting him go for free, you're going to sell him for 120, 140, 150 million, whatever it is. That's PSG basically saving face. We want him to stay, but I mean, hey, we brought you Messi, PSG fans and players. Look how immensely talented we are. If Mbappe wants to go, well, whatever, let's let him go. Instead of, if we didn't sign Messi, then it's Mbappe left. What happens? Why can't PSG keep this player? That was my thoughts. So, yeah, my thoughts are PSG will probably think about it because they'll get a crap load of money instead of losing him for free. And he wants to go to Madrid. He's made that very apparent. And at this point, it's just sad to see that PSG is still reaching at straws to keep a man who doesn't want to be here. I think our best option is to get a right back on loan as a stopgap until we can serve St. Just. So, Eric, couple things. One, St. Just is not a right back. So I've had a lot of people reach out to me and say, hey, St. Just would be perfect. He's exactly what we need. Yes, he's a pacey center back. He is not a right back. By any stretch is he a right back. In my opinion, he is no better at a right back than Emre Can. That is my opinion. Again, I'm not saying I'm right, but if you expected St. Just to come in and start as a right back, I think you would have been a little disappointed because he's genuinely a center back. However, I do think a nice option would have been to bring in a player like Ariozola. He's not going to be used at Madrid. He's not wanted at Madrid. He's got experience with Bayern. Bringing him on a loan for a year, that is what we probably should have done. Lazaro is a similar option, but a little bit more attacking. He's not ideal for a right back because he's not really a right back, but he could play a role there if he needed to. But he can play as a wing back. He can play as an attacking winger or attacking midfielder. And he covers a lot of options on that right-hand side. But I mean, I would have took St. Just, don't get me wrong. I would have took St. Just in a heartbeat. But if you would have expected him to be that right back, I don't think that would have been ideal. Opinion on TFC's horrific season and Montreal being the best team in Canada. Kudos to Montreal. I didn't think that they would be able to do that, to be honest, with the new management they came in. Looking at some of their squad depth, I mean, the one thing I love about watching Montreal is that they have a lot of Canadian men's national team players. I mean, Crépeau's in net, CBG at the right wing back spot, Waterman at the center back. There's a lot of players in there. Samuel Piette as well. So it's good for that perspective. And seeing them put the performance together, I hope they make the playoffs. It'd be nice because I don't think Vancouver will pull it off, and Toronto definitely won't. And yeah, I mean, poor appointment. It was from the management, from top to bottom. The season was just a disaster from the off. And at this point, just try to regroup, get the right people in position, and try it again next season. But Angie's tuned in and says, hi, Angie, how you doing today? Are you excited about Halstenberg? I will be if we can flip players. If you're telling me right now we can get Berkey up the door, we can get Delaney, which I liked Delaney, but, is what it is. We need some money. And we can get Wolf and Schultz out the door. That's a W. And then we bring in Halstenberg and Lazaro. It's decent, man. It's decent. Canada starting 11. My Canadian men's national team starting 11 would be that 3-5-2 we love so much. I would still start Borjan in net. Right wing back, I would go for Buchanan. Right center back, Alistair Johnson. Central center back, probably still Steven Vittoria with the outside left center back, Scott Kennedy. I do like Kamal Miller's performance. You could maybe shift Kennedy to the middle and Miller out on the left, but I would still, for the time being, go in Vittoria, Kennedy, left wing back, Alphonso Davies. Our three center mids, depends who's available. I mean, ideally, if Arfield comes in with Hutch and then I guess maybe obviously Eustachio, but Eustachio will be in there no matter what. If Hutch and Arfield don't come in, then we have Mark-Anthony Kaye who's available. We have Azorio who's available. And then up front as our strikers, Larin and David. Pretty much, in my opinion, right now writes itself. There are some question marks about that midfield and who will be there, but we'll have to see. Dr. David says Mexico, Liga Mexi is dominant and the same as Portugal. I don't agree with that. I think the Portuguese league is a better league than Mexico, but I do rate the Mexico league very highly. And you can argue that it's pretty similar, but I don't know. It's all about perspective. It's hard to say exactly what league is better, Portugal or Mexico. But if you guys want to comment and let me know which league you guys think is better, because it's a fun debate. I'm not going to say who's right or who's wrong. There's very valid points for both ways. But Peter says, how confident are you in us getting Halstenberg and Lazaro before the transfer window ends, I feel like they would be key pieces to making a title run. I do agree. Like I said, those two players hit 6 positions. Halstenberg, center back, outside left back, Lazaro, right back, right wing back, right attacking mid. That's what we need. That's straight up what we need. It'll depend on Berkey, Wolf, Schultz, and Delaney all leaving. I feel confident that Halstenberg will come in, and I'm not sure about Lazaro, man. These links are iffy. I think there is genuine interest now, but I do think Benfica is still interested. Again, from what I've read, it seems like Benfica were close, but Lazaro wanted to go to the Bundesliga. And if Dortmund's offering you that role under a coach that you're familiar with, I think that it's a no-brainer. He would choose Dortmund over the Portuguese side, Benfica, but I'm not 100% sure yet. And Buchanan linking up, Canadian men's national team and U.S. men's national team represent. Yep, tactical manager was very excited as well. Gave a nice congratulations over to Buchanan, linking up with a couple Americans over with Club Brugge. It will be nice. It will be nice. Delaney on his way to Spain. If everything goes well, Halstenberg will be signed. Yes, I still think that Schultz needs to go out for Halstenberg to come in. Angie, that's my opinion, but we'll have to see. Our luck with Champions League draw has been awful, unlike City, who gets easy teams. Watch us get the group of death on Thursday. We'll be doing the stream here as well. I'm really hoping we get a kind draw, but we'll have to wait and see. How good is Jamal Musiala? I rate Jamal Musiala very highly. I do. I saw somebody on Twitter saying that he's better than Royce. That's why Twitter's iffy, but I do think he's a very talented youngster, and I think he's got big shoes to fill at Bayern. What formation should the Canadian men's national team play with at the octagonal? And you should play in defense, our worst position in terms of depth. I would play, and I'm a very, very confident John Herdman's going to play the 3-5-2. That's his formation. That is his formation through and through. We've seen sneak peeks of a 4-4-2. Very sneak peeks. I don't think he'll trust it. I think he wants that midfield 3 and the 3 center backs, and allowing someone like Buchanan and Davies running up and down the flanks with your 2 strikers up front. I don't see him not playing the 3-5-2, and I think it places so many players' advantages. It really does. It's got that defensive aspect to it, having a 3-man midfield. If you get Arfield, Hutch, and Eustachio in, great. Now, Eustachio and Hutch may not be there, but still, you can still have a little balance there. You could maybe have a Samuel Piet. You could have Osorio. You could, of course, have Marc-Anthony Kaye, who's on good form with his new move to Colorado, as well as Eustachio, who's your main man in the midfield. And then the 2 of the most informed wingbacks you're going to want up and down that pitch. You got attacking and defensive ability in both Buchanan and Davies. Then you got those 3 center backs. And I said, there's depth now, a little bit more. With Scott Kennedy there, you could have Victoria and then Alistair Johnson. But like I said, you could shift Scott Kennedy to the midfield or to the middle center back and play Kamal Miller. Because Kamal Miller, I think, was someone who really impressed a lot of us at the Gold Cup, and rightfully so has a decent shout. But yeah, I would still say in terms of that, our biggest weakness would be our defense. But with Scott Kennedy's performance this season already, on top of the fact that, I mean, we got leadership still from Victoria. We have an informed Miller. Alistair Johnson has been kind of repositioned into this outside right center back. I mean, there is a lot of room for improvement still. And I don't know, I feel confident, man. And especially with all the interesting plot twists with COVID and some of the other teams like Jamaica, Costa Rica, it's going to make things a little bit easier for us. I'm not going to lie, I don't know what Matt wants to leave. He's getting playing time and a treble. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm sure Mbappe just wants to leave because he wants an out. I think that he's just getting pushed so hard to re-sign that he's like, you know what? I don't care. You got Messi. Let me go. But we'll have to see. The best number 7 I've ever seen in BBB is Dembele. Josh, what about you? I think Sancho is better than Dembele. However, I want to take nothing away from how fun it was to watch Dembele that year. He was incredible. But I rate Sancho higher than Dembele, especially the year he put up, I think it was 16 goals, 18 assists. I mean, he was better than Dembele. But Dembele did have a really, really good one season for us. Aston Villa wanted Delaney for 15 mil. It's a rumor that we heard. Don't know how legit it was. I don't know why we would sell for 7, 8, whatever it was to Sevilla if we got a 15 million offer from Aston Villa. So I would read that with a grain of salt, but maybe it's just the fact that Delaney wanted Champions League football. I'm not 100% sure. He rejected Madrid's bid today of 160 million. They want 200 million. Mbappe rejected it for the third offer. Well, worst comes to worst from Mbappe. He gets to play with Messi and Neymar for a year, and then he can head on over to Madrid on a free. So I think he's in a pretty win-win situation. Is Lazaro to Dortmund confirmed? It's not confirmed. I mean, I was hypothesizing about it on stream a couple days ago, and then all of a sudden these rumors started popping up, and people were like, Josh, they listen to you. I don't think it has anything to do with me. I think that it was a natural player. That's why it was so obvious to think about. He's not wanted at Inter. He just played in the Bundesliga under Marco Rosa, and our entire right-hand side is very, very lacking depth. The fact that Paslak is playing right now should not happen. So I think that's why it's starting to come in. But Benfica, the rumors are there, pretty legit too. But I know, and I'm pretty confident that Lazaro would prefer a move back to the Bundesliga. Which player in the Premier League does Tajon Buchanan play like, in your opinion? I got huge. I mean, I don't know if it's just because it's how they look similar, but Leroy Sané, when he was in form at Man City, always remind me of Buchanan. I thought they play very similar. But maybe it's just the way that they look. But I don't know. They're very fast. They were very good. I mean, Leroy Sané had an incredible year when he got 10 goals, 15 assists for Man City. He was a fun player to watch. And I don't know why. When I watched Buchanan in that Olympic qualifier, that's a player immediately I got reminded of. But other than that, I don't know. Maybe Rafinha from Leeds is another decent one. Different type of players, but Bellingham better than Musala. Luka, I'm going to back you up with that. Why does no one trust Meunier this season? He might step up. I think the key thing is might. He might step up. If he does step up, fantastic. That's what the board is banking on. But if he doesn't, there's going to be a lot of heat coming his way. So it's going to be interesting. Club Brugge on Champions League this year. It's great. That's just the one thing that I think is a shame is by the time that Tajon Buchanan could link up with Club Brugge after he finishes his loan deal back at New England, is their Champions League quest may be over. They may finish dead last. They may finish third, and that gives them a Europa League football. I don't know, if you're being realistic, depending on the group, there's probably a tough chance that they get top two, but it'll depend. We'll have to see how their group does, but Club Brugge is always a tough team. I watched them last year. They played Dortmund in I believe we beat them both times, but they were a tough game, both matches, which makes things interesting. Hello, my man. How you doing today? If you guys are new around here, be sure to drop the like, subscribe to our beautiful community as well. We've already hit 5,000 subscribers, and I appreciate all the support we've seen so far from everyone on the channel. As we get to discuss a talented young Canadian jumping abroad, but Angie said that the Portuguese league is better than Liga MX, and I agree. Where do you rate the Belgian league compared to MLS? Ooh, Dan, it's a good question. I mean, you guys know the typical top five. For me, I mean, and it's just my opinion, after the top five leagues, which is, I mean, no specific order, but I mean, there's the Bundesliga up there, Prem, La Liga, Serie A, and Liga. Those are my top five. After that, I think, again, the next five in no particular order, but this is the next five that kind of come up. The Dutch league, the Russian league, the Portuguese league, the Turkish league, and the Belgian league's around there-ish. But then there's also the Championship in England, which is a very competitive league, and I believe is ranked higher than most of those leagues that I just named. So it's hard. I'd say the Belgian league's a top 15 league in the world, if that's fair with you guys. It's tough, but there's a lot of good teams in there, in that Belgian league. They're a better league than the MLS, but that's the thing. I don't know if it's that big of a jump. I wanted to see Buchanan go to a top 5 league. That's all I wanted to see. So I was a little disappointed with the move to the Club Brugge, but I don't know. I don't know what the offers on the table were. So he's got some stuff to prove over in Belgium, and hopefully we'll get a bigger move after that. Kay was disappointing at the Gold Cup, just like Liam Fraser. Yeah, I don't think Kay had the strongest Gold Cup, but I think he's finding form again. I think he got out of a toxic situation at LAFC. I think he's enjoying his first little bit here at Colorado. I think we're going to expecting, honestly, a more rejuvenated Kay. But he did make mistakes. I thought Liam Fraser was half decent when he was able to play, but he was very shaky in that opening match. I don't think a lot of teams forgot that. The best team in Belgium is the best team in both leagues, but the worst team in Belgium leagues are worse than the worst MLS teams. The best team in Belgium is the best team in both leagues. Yeah, you know, that's fair. That's fair. I can't say I've watched a ton of the weaker teams in Belgium. But yeah, the MLS is a different league. You don't see relegation. So, I mean, the DPs make the league a little bit more balanced. So I think that's a fair statement. We can't get PSG or Bayern in our group. We won't have, I don't know if you're asking me if we can't, or you're just telling me we can't. Because like I said, we can't get Bayern because they're in our league. I don't know what group PSG is, but I'm assuming maybe they're in pot 2, which they are because Lille's in pot 1. So yeah, we can't. That is nice. Not what I heard on regional Dortmund news. They reported that he was flying to Spain today, and now they're 1 million apart. That is kind of some of the latest things I've heard as well. I heard that Dortmund wanted 7, Sevilla was offering 6, and then a random news story came out today on Twitter that said 15 million offered from Aston Villa. I said BS. There's no way. That is so much more than the Sevilla offer. If that was true, I'm sure Dortmund would try to take it. I'm assuming that was just random news. I didn't look too much into it. Our draw last year was good even in the quarterfinal. It was. Sell Delaney for 7 million, buy Halstenberg for 5. If we can get Halstenberg for 5. The last number I heard was between 8 and 10. Any news on the info on Tomori situation? No news yet. No news, period. I haven't heard a single thing about it. As far as I know, he's still potentially eligible for that one-time switch that he would be eligible in November of 2022. However, there's still a rumor that he can't do that switch because of the new FIFA rules. So it's a very gray area, and a couple experts I've heard say one thing and the other. So I think only time will tell, to be honest. I heard Aston Villa was not legit. I'm assuming they're not legit as well. Just considering, it just doesn't make any sense. Do you think Bayern will want Davies' minutes restricted when he's at the World Cup due to a recent injury? Ideally, I don't think any club wants to see a player play 3 games in a row. I'm assuming that is why on One Soccer we saw, I believe it was a statement saying that should Davies, or some Canadian outlet somewhere said that should Davies and David get rested for the World Cup qualifiers against the States? Assuming because the States is the toughest team that we're going to play, should we go for 2 wins in our other 2 games and go for a weaker squad against the U.S.? Ideally, I say no. But yeah, absolutely. Bayern would like Davies to probably play 2 out of 3. Now, I don't know what kind of agreements go on behind closed doors, but it's World Cup qualifiers, man. In my opinion, there's nothing Bayern can really do. They release Davies. If Canada makes him play 3, they'll play 3. Oscar, how you doing, my man? Musala is very talented and not afraid to go for it. I agree, and he went for it, throwing England behind him and moving on over to the Germans. Do you think Germany will call Royce for international games? I don't think it'll be announced. For example, I think maybe if Royce is interested, Flick will probably just do a phone call. If I'm being realistic about it, they'll probably call up Marco Royce. Flick will be like, hey, are you interested, yes or no? And then Marco will be like, hey, yeah, you know what? I could probably play a game or 2, or no, I've made my decision. I'm still fine. I don't know. I don't know how it'll go, but I think that Flick is interested in maybe calling him up, but I'm assuming a behind closed doors conversation would happen first. Bruges team is better this year, and the city is amazing. Very cool to see. I mean, if I ever go over to Belgium, that's exactly where I would go to watch a match, so it's cool. I'll watch a couple of Tajon's game, but like I said, it sucks that I can't watch him until January, but I'd like to see what kind of impact he'll have on the squad. We should sign Isaac last year if Holland leaves. I'm not that keen on having Isaac back. I'm not. I didn't rate him that highly when he was at Dortmund. He didn't work out very well. He's now killing it over at Sociedad. I don't know. That's just me. I'm not that keen. I'd rather someone like Vlahovic. Probably too expensive, yes. But I rate him a lot more higher than I do Isaac. And I believe Isaac's, I don't know if that buyback clause is still in there or not. It's something interesting, though. How about the Saudi Arabian League? Not very high up in my quality rankings. We should sign a development striker when Holland leaves. Well, we already have Mukuku. We also have Mullen there. Tigges is still in the ranks, so I think we don't need a development striker. We have a lot of talent also in our U19s. Mukuku's kind of that. I would like to see Mullen either step up and become that leading role, because that's the assumption of why we bought him. We sold a winger, we bought a striker. I think it was because he's available. Get him in now, knowing Holland may move on. Give Marco Rose the ability to play a 2-striker formation. And then when Holland leaves, bring in a winger, move Mullen to the main striker role. Kind of my opinion. Is it true that last year BBB wanted to sign Havertz? It might be. However, However, it may not be true. I don't know. I didn't read too much in it. I think that Bayern and Dortmund would have took a look at the Havertz situation, but it is what it is. Tajon went for UEFA Champions League football, and I think that's a mistake for a couple of reasons. One, like I said, and I don't know if a lot of people know this, and I've said it a couple times on this stream, but man, it's tough. It's tough because all the group stage games are done before January. So by the time Tajon links up with Club Brugge, they could be out of Champions League. So that was the big reason I didn't want to see him go to Club Brugge rather than Freiburg if he chose it specifically on Champions League. I don't know why he chose it. It could have something to do with that. They could have offered him more than Freiburg. They could have offered him a better platform to be successful. I don't know. But it is cool to see nonetheless. I'm excited for him to go over to Europe. And I think it's fine that he chose Club Brugge because he's going to spend half the season on loan with the Revs anyways. So, it is what it is. Bbb forever. I love it. The Bbb Predictions players that will be called for the German next week. Mine is Royce, Hummels, Dahoud, Chan, and Brandt. Interesting. Now, if we're going realistic, I mean, Royce may not be called up because I don't know what his future has in store for the national team. It's a lot of games, especially that Dortmund aren't in great form. Hummels coming back from injury. I don't want to see him go. Chan coming back from injury. I don't want to see him go. Brandt coming back from COVID. Is he even a German men's national team player anymore? I say no. Dude, that's a tough one. All players who are familiar with the national team, but I honestly hope no Dortmund players go. I really don't. I want them to all stay, get fit, get healthy. I don't want two players who came back from injury in Hummels and Chan going. Brandt, I don't really care if he goes. He can go. It doesn't matter to me. Dahoud, I mean, he's had a lot of minutes already. He's been around for all the preseason. But I mean, it'd be fine. I'd like Dahoud go because it'd be nice for him. And then Royce, I don't really want him to go for selfish reasons. I mean, he already turned up an opportunity to represent his country at the Euros. I want him to stay and focus on his club career. So for me, I hope none of them go. But realistically, I don't see. Actually, I don't know. I don't know if I see any of them going. I don't. That's a tough one. That's a really tough one, man. I'm Juve, but I love your videos. Hopefully, we'll face you guys in the UEFA Champions League group stage to play in your beautiful stadium. Aha, much love, my man. Home of Juve. Appreciate the kind words on the channel, my man. And yeah, it'd be nice. It'd be nice. I mean, Juve's a tough team. Always kind of want to keep your distance from tougher teams. But I more than likely we're gonna get a tough team in the group. And if it's Juve, I'd be excited to take you guys on. Brady says the former TFC winger, yes, the man in the Russian league. I saw that. Uncapped by this senior squad. Think he'll have a chance for the 23-man squad. It depends. If he gets any action for the octagonal, maybe. Or I guess you said World Cup qualifiers. I don't know. It's tough because we don't play with wingers. We play in a 3-5-2. We have wing backs. I would like to see him get brought up because, I mean, he's abroad. He's had an interesting career path. He's playing in the Russian league. Canucks Abroad was the ones who made me aware of this, so I crept a couple of his games. So yeah, I mean, I would love to see him get called up. Why not? I mean, Tyler Pasher, for example, was someone who got called up from Houston. I would be okay with maybe leaving him behind if he was the one who had to be sacrificed and bring up Richie here. But it'll be interesting, man. Isaiah's here, says Tajon. Tear it up. Yeah, it'll be cool, man. I am happy. You guys know my mixed feelings about him wanting to go to a top 5 league, but it is still, I don't want to take anything away from the move. It is still an incredible move for him and a platform for him to grow. Flick wants Royce. It will be up to Royce. Yep, that's what I heard as well. There was a conversation going around that Flick says that a conversation will be had with Marco Royce and ultimately be down to the player. But considering that's a 3-game window, again, it'll be a phone call. Royce will say, hey, listen, I'm in, but for 2 games where I play 70, 75 minutes. If that's okay with Hansi Flick. It'll depend. It'll definitely depend, man. Josh, did you just take your makeup off? The beard? Yeah, I think I shaved this morning, to be honest. Do I look fresh? Do I look nice and fresh? Is that what you like to see? Who cares about Buchanan, mate? Mbappe to Madrid. Mbappe to Madrid. Is it done? Am I missing something? Is it like, has there been like massive like talks about it or something? But the source is concerning. Because yes, I mean that's not a surprise. I was like before the transfer even went down, I was saying it was very likely that he may move on, man. He wants to go to Madrid. That is a fact. He wants to go to Madrid. However, PSG want to do everything to keep him. But if you're going to get 160, 180 million, whatever, this window or lose him for free, you got to use common sense at some point. PSG like going right up against that financial fair play line without crossing it over. And I don't know. There's a realistic chance Mbappe could be sold and Ronaldo goes there. And I will do a stream on it because it's fun news, man. It's fun to talk about. But I don't know. Unless I'm missing something behind scenes on Twitter right now, I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. So you know what? I do care about Buchanan because this man deserves some praise from getting a great move over to Europe. Other than Madueke, what is a realistic replacement for Erling? It depends. It depends, guys. I think it'll depend on how our boy Malen does this season. Because like I said, I think Malen was strategic to be the successor for Haaland. And if Malen can't put the ball in the back of the net, I mean, it's very early. It's very hard to put him on that. But if Malen is successful any way, shape, or form, he'll more than likely be our leading striker. The money from Erling will go towards a winger, and that'll balance itself out. However, if Malen struggles drastically this year, it'll be interesting to see what route we go. If we find an actual, more natural number 9, similar to Erling's attributes rather than Malen's. So yeah, it's hard to say, man. I don't know quite yet. I'm going to the Canada versus Honduras and the Canada El Salvador games on September 2nd and 8th at BMO Field. Very lucky, my name. We'll be doing the watch along here, Robin Russell. So if you wanna reach out to me and maybe send me like on Twitter, if you're going up to the stadium and want to send me some videos or something, if you feel like it, I'm gonna put that out to anybody who's going to the games. When we do the watch along beforehand and our pregame, I can toss them up on the screen because I think it's incredible. I don't ever remember seeing this much hype for a Canadian men's national team in my life, period. And I can't wait to see what it's like. I want to go, but we're going to be doing the watch-alongs. We got some fun stuff coming up as well, which I'm going to be a little hush-hush about. So I won't be attending, but to join for Haaland to Juve. Now. I don't think Haaland will go to Juve. I don't think Juve's quite in the mindset and the stable financial conditions to pull off a Haaland deal. But 75 mil, you never know. I think it's the wrong team, but it's better than staying in the MLS. Scott, I agree, my man. I agree. Freiburg for me was ideal. Or a Frankfurt or Gladbach, someone like that. I don't know. Sorry, I'm trolling. Love you, Josh. It's okay, my guy. It's okay. Just shut up every once in a while, Josh. Come on. Can we just go back to the 4-2-3-1 and just stay consistent? If we want to go back to a back four, honestly, give Teresic's old system, the Christmas tree, a try. Do 4-3-2-1. Get a 3-man midfield in there because our midfield has been atrocious of late. Get Jude Bellingham with Witsel behind. Get Gio and Royce as your 2 center attacking mids, and get Haaland as your striker, and just put Malen on the bench for now. Or you can go into a 3-4-2-1, 3-4-1-2. You have your back 3. Now that Chan's back, even without Halsenberg, you can have Chan, Hummels, Akanji. Your wing backs, you can get Hazard in there, or Meunier, maybe Lazaro now. Whoever it may be on that right-hand side, hopefully not Paslak. Left-hand side, Guerrero. 2 midfields into Jude Bellingham, Royce, Reyna, and then potentially Haaland up front. Who's your leading scorer this window for CONCACAF? I think it's hard to look past David. Jonathan David's just got such an unbelievable goal-scoring record for the Canadian men's national team. I think it's going to be him. I think Larin will have a good option as well, and you might argue Larin because David's start to his Lille campaign has been a disaster. I don't know if any of you guys watched Lille. I've watched every Lille match so far, and it has been brutal. It's been brutal to watch Gourvenec and his team. They look a shadow of themselves. They need a little bit more defensive awareness, in my opinion, in their midfield. They've been out with a couple players, so they've had to have a more attacking midfielder playing as a center mid, and it just looked completely off. They need to find a way to get back on track. And David's been kind of quiet, which sucks. No, last year Flick was interested in Havertz. He was. Bruges has a pretty good chance of being back in the Champions League next year. It's true, but I don't want to see him stay at Club Brugge for too long. Maybe a year and a half. So he stays for this window and maybe another season, get back in Champions League, get some minutes, and hopefully get a move. Because, he's 22. His window to make that big jump That's why I was a little bit nervous. If he was 19, he went to Club Brugge, perfect. Excellent move for him. But the fact that he's 22, I heard concerned a couple teams in top 5 leagues. Flick will probably want Hummels, possibly Dahoud. I was thinking Hummels as well. I'm hoping Hummels says no, just because he's coming back from injury. He's getting older. I don't know, man. I don't want to see any really the Dortmund boys go this window. I don't. To Germany, in that matter. Just if anyone take Brandt or Dahoud. I wouldn't mind Dahoud because I think with Witsel coming back and Bellingham, maybe Dahoud will get a couple of games that will be rested for Dortmund anyways. Kobel, my keeper sweeper. He's been impressive, man. Owen Tajon equals Champions League winners. I like it. Madueke is not a replacement for Haaland. He could be, Angie. He could be. It's not. I get what you're saying. He's not saying that he's a like-for-like replacement. But Malen and Sancho were not like-for-like replacements. Noni would have been a like-for-like replacement for Sancho. Malen is a striker. So if Sancho went out and we bought a striker, now we have 2 strikers. So if Haaland leaves, Malen is technically Haaland's replacement. And then say you buy Noni, which we won't. I'm saying that right now. We're not going to sign him. But if we do, there's your winger. So there's your technical Jadon Sancho replacement, and Malen is your Haaland replacement. Now I know Malen is a different striker, but you spent 30 million on him. You have to play him somewhere. If Malen moves on, I don't want to see or expect them to go out and spend 30 more million on a striker. Malen is your guy. You committed, he's got to go forward. Breck Shea better than Mbappe. Definitely agree. Either of those clubs would have been better. Any updated prediction where Canada will place in the octagonal? Ooh, and do you still have them at 4th? No, I would put them up to 3rd. I would put them up to 3rd, my man. I think that Jamaica is going to be struggling. Not only because I wasn't overly impressed with their Gold Cup performance, I wasn't overly impressed with the amount of dual nationals that they were getting because they haven't been able to recruit near as many as we thought. But now these dual nationals and some of the teams that they actually do have may not be released to actually represent them at these important games. So Jamaica might even slid out of my top 4. I mean, I'm hoping Canada, this is an opportunity to qualify for a World Cup, man, and I absolutely am gunning for it. And we got 3 watch-alongs coming up in a matter of a week. So hopefully you Canadian men's national team fans are excited for it. The community always comes together for one of the most important stages of this country's soccer in a long time, man. So I would put him 3rd. I'd put him 3rd. Lille's not looking good, bro. Worried for Weah for us. Yeah, I mean, it's a bit of a dumpster fire right now, but in all honesty, they still have quality there. Gorvnik is obviously different manager than Galtier. Galtier took that move to Nice. He wanted out. He got out. Galtier is not a proven manager. This is a cheap out for Lille, and it comes down to the fact that they don't have money. They let a couple of big players go. Samores walked out the door. Magnons went out the door. They were able to bring in a keeper, so hopefully he'll be a little bit better than Jardim was. But all in all, they haven't really recruited that well, but they should still be doing better than they are right now. And I'm putting a little bit of that on Gorvnik. The whole Lille team is a disaster. Yeah. Is it true that the EPL and Championship teams are not going to release players for certain CONCACAF countries due to COVID? Any red list country, I think there's a good possibility that they will not go. I do, man. I think it's nervous, and if anything, it helps Canada and the States because their first 3 games are in their favor, man. It's true for EPL teams. Most people assume the same will happen for the EFL teams. Yep. I don't think Madueke is anywhere close to that level as a winger. Yes, but not as a striker replacement. Yes, but sorry, Angie. So that's what I was trying to say. He's not a like for like. So it's, for example, say we're playing a 4-2-3-1 last year. Sancho's your left attacking mid. Holland's your striker. Well, we sold our left attacking mid. We brought in another striker. We're going to play him out of position for a year or play him up top. Now we sell Haaland. Malen is now that striker. You bring in Noni on the left attacking mid. So there you go. Full cycle comes in position, but you kind of get what I'm saying. And some people have question marks on whether Malen can do it as a lone striker. Rightfully so, but we spent 30 million on him. We don't have much of a choice. I think BBC should look for a striker now because Haaland can leave this January. He can. I don't think he will. He can, apparently. Apparently his release clause comes in effect September 1st. But it's all speculative. I'll either be here or at the games. Well, if you're at the games, my man, feel free to send me pictures on Twitter or whatever. And I would love to toss them up on screen while we do the watch-alongs. Because I'd like to hear how the experience would go. Brady's put in the Canadian flags. Wait, Buchanan really did sign for Club Brugge? If so, I'm going to try to watch them since I bought... Yeah. if you have DAZN, I mean, I guess DAZN Canada. I know I can watch them in DAZN Canada, which is great. But yeah, a little Canadian men's national team, U.S. men's national team, little team up there will be nice. There's a few U.S. players in the Belgian league. It'll be nice to see Buchanan go there, and I'm excited for him, man. But Will, dude, good to hear, Scott. Good to hear. But we're gonna wrap up the stream there for today, guys. Another big congratulations to Tajon Buchanan. I know I talked a lot about it not being my ideal move, but it is still a very impressive move. I cannot wait to see how he finishes up his season with New England. I mean, Toronto has done awful this year, so you know what? For the playoffs, I'm going for New England because I'm doing it just specifically for Buchanan. I want him to go out of the MLS full of confidence, heading on over to Belgium and hopefully making an impact with Club Brugge when he does go there. But I'm excited nonetheless. I'm very proud of Buchanan, hoping for some success and to watch him at the upcoming World Cup qualifiers. So thank you guys for tuning in with the stream today. If you're new around here, I mean, be sure to drop a like on your way out, subscribe as well, and we will see you guys next time. Cheers, my friends.